streaming live, and yesterday we were working on getting our tests repaired. I ran into sort of an issue with the value converter. I don't know if it's an issue, just more of an oversight. Well, I've patched it now. I added this unpad list. Well, actually, and you can look in the docs here, the doc test. You can see that we pad list, and we basically say make it 2. It'll actually chomp it off. So added that in. Haven't tried it against our project yet. So here we go. Let's go mix deps.get. I'll get the latest that I just pushed up. And it didn't look like, let's see here, let's do mix local hex because it says we got a new one here. And I think, yes, mix deps.get. Not sure it worked on the poll here. Did it push? Okay, it looks like it pushed okay. Alright, let's just try it. Let's do value converter pad list. We'll give it 0, 0, 0, 1. Why not? And we're going to say pad it down to 2. Yeah, it didn't push correctly. So I think what we can do is do remove on dependencies, IO buffer, mix deps.get. I think that'll for sure pull it. There we go. So let's try it again. I just thought we'd just do it a couple times just to make sure we did it right, right? Alright, value converter pad list with 0, 0, 1, 2. Still not the right thing. Does unpad list even exist? No. Okay, so let's take a look at our GitHub, and by ours, mine, I guess. GitHub, and see if it's there. However, this is 5 minutes ago. Lib value converter. Okay, so it is there. So let's do remove our build. That'll force everything to rebuild. And I'm just going to grab this one. Still not there. Okay, so let's look at lib. No. Deps. IO buffer, lib, value converter. So it's not there. Yeah, mix s, IO buffer. It should pull master. So let's remove the dependencies. Let's remove the build. Mix deps.get. And I'm interested if we go to deps IO buffer get branch head attached. So I'm betting it's tied to a specific commit, and that's what it is. Okay, so we remove rf mix.lock mix deps.get. There we go. Alright, I'm going to do x-xs mix, and that's better. Okay, so now we got that fixed. And found out our mix lock was giving some grief. So I'm going to run the test real quick. That'll run the build. I'm going to run this to be ready when we're ready. That's going to include integration. And it looked like, yeah. Let's get our integration tests fixed. Tests. Okay, so we're here. Should read all data from socket. We're at the integration test line 105. So it looks like there was an issue here. Didn't quite finish it. Okay, so pop that down. Let's get back to a good working state here. Okay, so that is failing. We're at line 105. So it seems to be failing right there. So let's make sure that's not intruding on our success here. And I think I did this again. I think it's only 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. Let's try it again. So it's still failing at the same spot. So here, when it writes to true, it's having an issue writing that data. So let's comment it out, see if that is for sure the problem. I thought we got further than this yesterday. Okay, so that is not passing. Okay, so should read unsigned and from socket expected value was 2, expected 3. And then set receive failed. Okay. Where's this? Right here. Okay. So, is this our first read? Now we got read Boolean, and that one's okay. While it's less than 2, so I don't understand how this ever broke out of this loop. But while it's less than 2. That doesn't seem right. Okay, so yeah, they're both stuck. Getting light on me. All right. This shouldn't be possible if... How are we getting out of here? So here, 2. This doesn't make sense. False. So how did this break out of here? That's like beyond me. If that's false, oh no, that would be bytes available. 2 less than 2? That's not true. Trace name bytes available. That just don't make much sense, does it? So it's saying 2 less than 2. That's false. Okay. That is false. Well, it's less than or equal to 3. And that'll halt it. If we go back to our original thing here. Okay. Read byte. Number to binary. No, this is not possible. I wonder how that snuck in. Okay. No function calls matching run test 3. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have our 8 tests running. 9:35, so that got stuck. See here, num to bin. We can do IO inspect. I feel like this should have happened a lot easier. So we have the 15 to 55 0. That's what was sent. And then we have this right boolean here. So let's do this. Save it. And rerun this. I think that might have been the problem. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's take this off. Alright, and let's go on with our test. So let's put that there. And we have to make this another test. And here we're going to do darn. We're going to comment this, bytes available 2, and that. So we're just going to write the 5421. Okay. This integration is everything. Okay. I have a trace going on somewhere. Trace. Oh, this one here. Okay, so it looks like it's in better shape, so let's uncomment these. Looks like we're getting really close now. This has been tough tracking it down. But once we have this integration in, we can rest easy. Okay, so we're still stuck on this right. Unsigned short. Oh, this is the problem right here. So it's going to be 6. 6. You better be 6. Okay, so that passed here. That passed here. Okay, so we're looking much better. So let's uncomment this. That should be 16 bytes, and so this one should do as promised. So let's do our test is 10 now. Hopefully I think we got this. Stuck. Let's do this not equal bit. And let's take a look at our test and make sure it's acting appropriately. Read int. So we're going to do byte to binary, which is wrong. Num to binary. 4. So this is just wrong. Binary, which is 4, and num to n 4. So let's run this again, and I think that's going to be our problem. There we go. It passed, and that passed. So that was the problem. So let's fix these. Oh wait, this is double is not 4. Double is 8. 8. 8. Okay. And oops, that's not going to work. We need to increment this. 1. It'd be cool to write a macro for that, actually. So, be double 32. Is that correct? Yes. 8 times 4. Yes. All right. And that's passed. That's passed. We're looking great. Okay, so last test to uncomment. We'll take out the read UTF bytes. And we're going to have this number of tests to 12. That's ready. And let's make all of our tests pass. There we go. We are in a passing test state. Git status, git commit, restored our tests, git push origin master on that one, git status, diff, didn't really change, so let's see if that makes the difference here. Let's run our integration instead. All right. There we go. Our tests are passing. Okay, so put that back, and let's run our game. And we're going to run our mix game server start. There we go. Game server is running. Our game's building. Let's build this script today, so we don't have to keep rebuilding this every time. But we have made changes to the underlying system with our value converter. This may break, but hopefully not. Here's our music playing, and let's get our terminal up. So there, and we are not getting send. Okay, so let's take a look. So we got debug data that was 4, and our line 45. So this binary to list, grab the head. Failed. So we can, let's see here, I think we don't even need this because it's just 4. So let's, because I think we just changed the receive. Let's do command ID. Oh no, we do want to do this. So we're going to do stream receive. We do want that. This is where we want our script. So it's going to be build OSX build. No, OSX build release MTF. Interesting. Build, empty build. Catch run sex. There we go. Restored. Okay, so I'm happy about this. Okay, so we also have this error to worry about. We'll take care of that in a little bit. So let's just do let's just continue. Okay, so we have that one little issue with, so I wonder, we should be able to just reconnect. There we go. So if we quit this, we get an error saying bad file number on the socket acceptor line 42. And PI line 42. So here we potentially have a read on the licit socket. It seems like it's probably okay that it's doing that because it's just going to kill the process. And so but we need to make sure that if the process is killed that we actually close the client. So what we need to get into lib game server socket server here is when it accepts, we need to store that process and let's see here. Let's do spawn link. So we're gonna have to set up a supervision tree on this. And I think kind of defer that for now. Now that it's linked, it actually kills the process. Do you see that? So we're okay with doing the spawn, and that's probably what we want to do, but we also need to tie it to a monitor, and then when the monitor feels it crash, we can close it. So we're going to be okay with that for now. And this is basically going to happen if we do a manual close, so that's fine. We just need to make sure everything's cleaned up when we actually close stuff. We could also check to see if it's still alive. Anyways, I want to do something a little bit more, a little less test, and a little more gamey. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the player unit move, which is this thing. And so we're just going to set this up in our playground here. And whenever we right click, instead of actually, you know what we want to do? We want to create the wizard. Right? I think we should create the wizard. So it goes to the unit created. So now whenever we click on the screen, the user, instead of having the playground just create it, we're actually going to create it in the back end and communicate it back to the front end that we're going to create a unit. So effectively, we need to get rid of this because this is going to cause some breakage. And here, with our create wizard, we're actually just going to cut this out and move this over to unit created action. Okay, and there we go. And we're going to do our imports. Come on, load point. Oh, it's probably because I'm doing the wrong key combination. Okay. And so the problem we have now, we have this last unit, which doesn't make sense. We also need to inject our object creator. We also need our game world. Game world. And I think one thing we need to do too, does our game world have, so we can get all the game objects, add game objects, with item 2, get display by game object, get game object by ID, and I believe, let's go to our world, 2D, game world 2D. I believe we actually have all this implemented, and it looks like we do. So like, get game item add, game world, game object by ID. So what we'll do is, let's go back to our unit created action. We're going to get display by game object, so we can just do var last unit, and this is going to add the game object, and there we go. So now we're going to grab our create unit created, and cast that from the handler. And I'm going to say create wizard. I think here our necro game object spins wizard game object. And we have our ID that's being generated, which we don't want to do anymore. So we're going to take this out. Gone, gone, gone. And now our last unit dot, this is going to be a necro game object. ID is equal to create wizard, this can be their ID, int ID, and we're just going to turn it into a string that way. So now, when we do our create unit, we're going to do our unit created, better. Created, unit created, we'll have our unit ID, unit created, and we'll do our position X and unit created, unit position Y. Sorry, just position Y. Position Y. Okay, so now we're going to create the unit this way. So we connect, and so what's going to happen is that the server is going to automatically just put our unit in sort of a random spot. So to prove that this is going to work. So we're going to go over to here. So game server, some stuff going on. Let's do live game server, handler, output, player connected. This is where I actually get the data. So we let it know that it was connected. So I want to look at, so our socket acceptor doesn't know anything about that. They just read it and execute the battle command. So test, lib, game server, battle. Right here, we have our player connected. And what we're going to do as sort of a interim moment, we're going to say def spawn unit. We're going to give it an ID. We'll give it a random number out of my mind. And actually, it's going to be the unit ID, position X, and position Y, and rotation is just going to be 0 now. So we're going to say, what's the name of this handler? Output. Unit created. Oops. Unit created. That's the ouch. There we are. So it shows unit created. So here we're going to do unit created. I'm going to put unit created. There we go. Unit created dot write, and we're going to need the puzzle just pass the player along. So we'll have the player dot socket, and then we'll have our unit ID, position X. We can have the rotation here. Position Y, and rotation. And that isn't fully correct, so we actually have to create a unit create. Unit created, and it should have a struct already associated, and it does. Okay, so unit created. This is going to be the player ID, player.id, unit ID, unit ID, position X, position X, position Y, position, Y, rotation, rotation. There. Okay. Here we write it, and our unit creates struct. Okay. So now, once we write the player out, we're going to timer sleep for half a second, and we're going to spawn our unit. And unit ID is going to be 20, doesn't really matter. And we're just going to send it 150, and rotation is going to be 0. Okay. And eventually we could just run the random number generator on there, but for now we're just going to do this. So that should do the trick. So let's do mix game server start. See if that builds. Okay. And then we should be able to run our game. I think that's all that we need. So okay, so we have unknown identify create wizard on playground 100. Where's our playground at? Okay. And we're just gonna actually, you know what we could do. No, we can't. So we're not going to be able to move our guy around anymore. And really, that's fine. Fine for now. Okay. We're more like slowly getting things out of the playground, getting into our actual framework here. And so we're technically just moving closer and closer in the game, even though it just feels like we're just running in our playground. And it kind of feel like that for a while, actually. Those are constantly iterating through our playground here. So when we click on it, it's actually not doing anything. So we've got here stream through section line 42. What's the problem here? Okay. Connected, and then it's running client connected again. So let's figure out what's going on here. So there's an exception about file number. Let's take a look here. We can quit that. We don't really care about that anymore. Going to our player connect, in which we are doing client connected. Let's see here. So what we need to do is we need to restore this and try this. So our sending of the player connect was turned off because it was on our second click. So, or actually it was on our right click. So now I should have it all on the same stream of action. So we got our player popping up here in a minute, hopefully. So there's player 1 and now Barote. Okay, so let's run it again and see if there's any more information we can get out of it. So there, okay. Client connected, raise next fed file number. Stream, this is line 42. End of file. So let's go back to this setup. Starting game server. So in this case, we do left click to connect, right click to join. And so here, timeout value. So it's actually a bad timeout value because it doesn't do it in seconds. There we go. So we're going to left click to connect, right click. Okay, so no, I didn't have to really quit that, but the battle terminating undefined function stream send to. So let's take a look here. In fact, we only want half a second. Unit created. So we get that far battle, handle cast, unit created right 2. And that's going to go here. Right to binary. I think this is a part of a problem here. So num to binary. Let's look at the unit created. Yeah, int double. So it should be num to binary 4. Num to binary 4. And I want to double check something real quick. Look at live game server handler output player connected. So we're going stream send num to bin. So one thing we don't have is this. We're not sending the command. We're not sending the commands, that's one problem. Num to bin 4, and then num to bin is going to be 8. So let's run this. Left click to connect, right click to got the unit. Still not working. Undefined function stream send to. So what's the problem here? Stream send to. So it's unit created, line 13. Here. And what is the difference between that and this? Nothing. Except for an import. Alias socket string. That's not import. An alias. Alias socket string. Oops. So left click to connect, right click to do the thing. There he is. And so that'll kill the game, but that's okay. So let's do it again. It's kind of cool. So we're going to connect, and then we drop our unit in the screen. There he is. So what we need to do is we could translate the click to the guy, but the server is in control of it, and we'll spawn the hero where we want to spawn them. So that doesn't really make sense to have it where we choose where the guy is gonna be placed. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool feeling to see how our server is now in control of unit creation. So let's do one more thing here. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to go back to our playground, and I'm actually going to put this here because that's where I wanted it in the first place. So I'm going to run the build. I do want to think about this here, fixing this at some point and doing an actual disconnect, because right now we essentially have a memory leak because we're not actually moving the unit from the player store, which we need to do. But we'll take care of that. So here we're going to left click to do everything. There we go. And there he's in place now. So what we could do is to make this even more efficient. I had it just basically doing the pause just to see kind of like that delay, but now we can just take that out and call this, oops, let's run this way. So now, ooh, so maybe we do need a little bit of a pause. I wouldn't think so. Oh yeah, we do need a little bit of a pause, I think. Let's see here, spawn unit. We do need a little bit of a pause. I think to actually write this out. No, it shouldn't need to. Let's just set it for 19 milliseconds. Is this really a thing? Theoretically, this may not be an actual issue anyways, but... Okay, so I broke something somewhere. Player connect. What did I do wrong here? So it doesn't seem to like that. So let's go back to what we had. I wonder if it's because... Huh, what have I done? Socket string receive. Bad file number, line 72. Like I said, for line 42. Line 42. So it's... For some reason it's just crashing this end. So let's run a build. Regular build. So we're going to socket connection, right click to draw a person. Alright, so let's set this back here where I wanted it. And this will be it. Get status, get commit, added creation of unit on the server. And we're gonna do more with this as there we go. And so, actually Actually, this could just run normally. I'm trying to figure out why. I don't think we should need this. Okay. So we're going to left click. Okay, so apparently it doesn't like that. So we need the timeout. Left click. Oh, this is just blowing my mind. Blowing up my mind here. This is weird. Right when I think I've got it solved. See here. Left click. Oh, weird. Oh, because it's going to try and recreate that. So I think that's an interesting bit. So we're going to just do this for now. It's a little bit more. Just do this. It's like it's actually trying to send the data before it's like ready. Left click, right click. There they are. And so if we right click again, it should crash it because we're trying to recreate multiple things. So that's okay. Valid character at position 0. Kind of curious. I would imagine that it wouldn't crash it. But it is going to try and reconnect the player, so maybe that's kind of correct. So let's take this out. We'll track that down later. Okay, and then push origin master, and then get status, get commit, updated our playground to be more server authoritative. Authoritative, I guess. Okay. Okay, get date, no, just date. Get push origin master, get tag 2016-0615-0857, get push origin this. Alright, we did it. We got our test resolved. We got some more functionality in our game. Happy coding.